Welcome in, everybody, to the PHNX Suns pregame show presented by BetMGM. I'm Lindsay. That's Saul. That's Gerald. And that's Flex. And tonight, the Phoenix Suns will be facing off against the Toronto Raptors. How you guys doing today?
Doing pretty great.
Excited for this game?
The Suns qualified for the in-season tournament.
Hey!
Who's excited? I am. I'm the person.
I'll be excited next Tuesday.
That's fair.
Wait, is it Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday,
right? Yeah.
Tuesday.
when they play.
Gerald and I have been excited about this.
Yes.
Everybody else can kick rocks.
I mean, last night was kind of hilarious around it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of drama on both sides, I feel like, and people being like, well, this is the tournament, and other people being like, this is disrespectful to basketball. And it's like, well, if you don't want to be disrespected, then just be better.
Yeah.
Right. Know the rules.
For real.
Sorry.
The rules have changed now.
I mean, I know that's mean to say, but also, like,
Get on
it is
board.
what it is.
At least the Celtics coach went over to what's his name? The Bulls head coach?
Oh, Billy Donovan?
Billy Donovan, and told him, hey, we're going to run with the score, just so you know.
Yeah.
You can try and stop it if you want to. I mean, that is allowed.
It's
Right.
your prerogative to put an end to this.
That's either the politest thing ever or the most disrespectful thing ever.
I
Like,
feel
look
like
them in
it's-
the eye and tell them.
I feel like it's politeness because it's like, listen, in any other circumstance, we wouldn't. It's same thing with booking the three. Like any other circumstance, I'm not taking that shot. But
Right.
like, these are the rules by which we are all held to the standard of, and we
Yeah.
want to play. We want to win this tournament. We want to be in this tournament. If you don't want to take it seriously, that's on you. But we're taking it seriously.
Yeah, it shouldn't even be something that they have to explain.
Mhm.
They all professionals. Everybody knows the rules. I mean, to have to go to a coach and say, yo, we're going to run up the score because it's an in-season tournament, it feels goofy to me. But
It is.
yeah, it's
Especially
like,
because a couple days ago, Jason Tatum was saying it felt weird and disrespectful that the other team was running up the score, and then what the hell were they
Right.
doing the next game?
Right.
Like,
But
come
yeah,
on.
then I had to run with
Jason
the score.
Tatum's just trying to have his cake and eat it too.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
Doesn't like it when it happens against him, but is okay with it when it's the other way.
It's just,
around.
it's just a different generation of people that are sensitive.
I think the biggest thing is that if the players didn't like it or decide they don't like it, then they can go back to the drawing board with the NBA and do what we talked about last week, where it's like all the games end on the same night so that
Mhm.
nobody knows as much what that point differential will
I agree.
be.
Right.
So then you kind of eliminate a scenario like this.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's the one change, and it's simple. I don't
Yeah.
think it's like an egregious ask to be made. It's also exciting for us because then we all get to know at the same time. We don't have to like wait a while to see if we had enough points or not. You can make the argument anyway that they get an extra like bonus for knowing how many points they need to have.
Mhm.
So,
You-
and that's a small change that I don't think is
you
too
know
big
what I
for us.
realized yesterday that I feel was a little, I didn't realize it going in, but then after watching it unfold, I was like, this is a little quirky rule. Like when Golden State had to win by 12,
Mhm.
if they had just won the game, there was a lot of people saying, well, we're 3-1, they're 3-1. We beat them head to head. Why don't they get in?
Because the
Because-
Timberwolves were part of that three-way tie.
Yeah,
They
because there
were
would have been
3-1 as
three
well.
3-1 teams
No,
that beat
no,
each other.
No, but I'm saying
That's why.
by the time the Timberwolves game ended, the differential didn't matter between the Timberwolves.
For
No, but
them,
they
yeah.
would have been part of the three-way tie is the problem. So because of that, that's why the Warriors had to win by 12 plus because the point differential wouldn't matter.
So the Timberwolves beat Golden State head to head?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah,
All
they were
three of those
3-1.
teams that would have been 3-1, one had beat the other, and one had lost to the other.
Yeah.
So they.
Okay, that makes sense.
The only
Yeah.
team Minnesota lost to was the second.
I thought
round.
Minnesota. Okay, so that explains. I thought Minnesota beat Sacramento and Golden State. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. I get it.
The tiebreakers in terms of the head-to-head part were a little confusing in group play. I think people went right to the point differential each time
Yeah.
instead. But yeah, I mean, I loved it, and I think if they move like we've been talking about all of those games to like one specific day, you could do Black Friday, which a lot of people have off, and you could stagger them throughout the day. So like one group plays their last game in the morning. You could have basketball all day and just like dominate that day.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
It's like your bonus Christmas almost.
Yeah.
But for NBA.
And I also, I don't know if 4 games is really like, I don't know. To me, it feels like we're doing it at the beginning of December. But then what about like, the end of December and January and February, where it's still kind of like, all right, we're just trying to get to the end of the season.
Right.
I think January to me would have been a better time to do it because, Christmas basketball to me is like, that's the start of the NBA season, right? They're trying to get people before that. So I guess maybe it does make sense, but
I
don't
also,
know. It
though,
feels
to
really,
flex,
really early.
To Flex's point, though, around like what we were talking about earlier on in the season is like, at this point, teams are still figuring out like who's actually going to be good, and then teams who are actually going to be bad. So they're kind of in that limbo. So everyone still is playing for something right now.
I guess so, yeah.
Which I guess could create a little bit more excitement.
Because
Because
the Suns' first in-season tournament game was like only like 2.5 weeks into the season.
Right.
And to me, I feel like, man, you don't even move yet.
But it's working. The numbers are up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I think that's why they
what
did
they set out to accomplish is
They don't want people to say, "Oh, Christmas is the start of the NBA season." They want it to be
Right,
the very
right.
beginning of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Eric in the chat said, "Why it gotta be LA? I don't even want to watch because if we lose, sad face
Well,
emoji.
I
You're not
like
gonna
it.
lose, Eric. Don't worry about it."
I do have good news for you,
Don't worry
Eric. I
about
wrote
it.
about this earlier today on our PHNX newsletter. It's free to sign up, whether you're a diehard or not. So make sure you go sign up for that. But the Suns match up really well with the Lakers. Like in terms of points in the paint, that's really the only area that the Lakers have a definitive advantage. The Suns were winning both of those first 2 Lakers games pretty handily, and then fell apart in the fourth because they didn't have one Devin Booker for either one of those games.
Yeah.
Assuming KD and Devin Booker are healthy, I have a hard time seeing the Suns lose to this team for a 3rd straight time.
I like the matchup. I do. I think we match up favorably against him.
If Bradley Beal's healthy in the second half, they win that
you
second
win that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it was a total collapse the first time. I just like the way we match up against them this year. So I'm excited, and I think it brings more intrigue to it. Lakers Suns. I mean, you got the prime. The NBA is loving this. You got LeBron, you got AD, you got Book, you got KD. This is fun. And just for some people, I mean, Devin Booker feels like Staples is home. He loves playing there. It's a lot like Madison Square Garden to him. So he usually plays well. So I'm excited. I think it worked out perfectly.
8 of the last 9 times that Booker has played the Lakers, regular season or playoffs, the Suns have won. So just keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, and they'll have Book in that game. And great news, you guys, KD is back, so they should have KD in that game as well. Let's look at the injury report for tonight's game against the Raptors. Kevin Durant was questionable, but he is available. He will play in tonight's game. Grayson Allen remains out, though, with that illness. Nassir Little is out for personal reasons, which we learned. Gerald, your question or the scenario you posed yesterday on the show about him being back at home for the birth of his first child is what we are hearing from multiple sources now. So congrats to Nassir Little.
That's awesome.
And his girlfriend, right?
Yes.
On their birth of their first baby. So that's exciting. And then, of course, Bradley Beal is out. And then on the Raptors side, Christian Koloko is out as well with respiratory issues. So
my U of A center is just taking a beating this year.
It's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough, man.
But good news for the Suns. So the injury report is getting smaller and smaller by the day. I know 2 games ago it was looking a little rough there.
It was.
Yeah,
but
we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. I mean, unfortunately, people get sick. You're dealing with it right now, Lil Lens, right? So hopefully you weren't in contact with Grayson. And
If
we didn't blame
anything,
you.
I mean, I got it after Grayson, so whatever he got, he must have sent back to Phoenix.
Gotcha.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
So, I mean, he should be better. KD coming back tonight is huge. Nassir, congratulations, but he'll be back Friday. So, yeah, we're getting there. And I'm hearing Damien's doing really well behind the scenes. So, soon we should be at full throttle.
So it'll be good to go. And starters tonight are looking like Devin Booker, Eric Gordon, Josh Okogie, Kevin Durant, and Yusuf Nurkic. So we got J.O. back in that starting lineup.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we get Kevin Durant back because, as we know, Book and KD are one of the statistically best duos in the NBA, just individually in terms of how much they're outscoring opponents by when they're on the court and how much they're getting outscored by opponents when both of those guys are off the court. So it's good to have both of them to be able to stagger so that Book doesn't have to play heavy minutes or KD doesn't have to play heavy minutes, and continue to build that connection because a lot of what we're seeing at this point without Beal is one of them having to kind of carry 4 other guys or run the offense, that sort of thing. And when they're both out there and once they get Beal back, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them kind of build their own chemistry a little bit more.
I'd tell you, the guy I'm going to miss tonight is Nassir.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to warm up to what he brings on both ends, especially defensively. They just play a lot better when he's on the floor. And again, the defense is starting to feel like it's on a string. And he's doing an incredible job of just picking up whoever's giving people trouble. And so tonight, when I look at the injury report tonight, that's the guy that I'm going to be really looking at. When I look at the game, I'm going to be wondering if we don't pull it out tonight, how much of that was the Nassir Little factor. So that's a good thing, though, man, because the kid's been working hard. So it's good. It's good that now we're looking at Nassir as a, an integral part of this team.
Absolutely.
J.O.'s got to step it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's been playing like ass the last couple games, man, like straight up. Like,
offensively.
I mean, defensively and hustle, you never have to question. But offensively, he can't throw a rock in the ocean right now. So he's got to figure it out. Otherwise, he's never going to find the floor when we get to the end of the season because, listen, you got guys like Nassir Little stepping up. You got guys like KBD on the bench. You got other people that are playing, a little bit more of a well-rounded game on both ends of the court. And if he's not going to contribute to that, he's going to find himself on the bench like he was in the second half against the Knicks.
Yeah, he only played 16 minutes. And another guy that we keep talking about is Jordan Goodwin. I mean, we're expecting Goodwin and Okogie to do similar things. Like they're supposed to be the dog pound. That's what we called them, right? And it seems like there's one dog out there right now. Again, Gerald, I agree. Defensively, he always brings it. But he's got to do something offensively.
Yeah.
Got to.
8 total points on 2 of 14 shooting over the last 2 games for Okogie. So obviously needs to be better in that regard. It feels like he's missed a couple of layups and putbacks and that type of thing as well. But the 3 ball, has not. It's been 1 of 7 the last 2 games.
Do you guys feel like he plays better when KD and Booker are on the floor
Absolutely.
with him? Absolutely,
Yes.
right?
I mean, I feel like you could probably say that about anybody, but
most people, yeah.
But especially guys like Okogie, like Nurkic, that might be a little more limited or have flaws. I think adding that spacing opens things up a lot for them and allows them to do what they do best.
Probably just mental too. Like you just feel less stressed about what you have to make up now.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, you want guys to be mentally strong and not really have that play as much a factor as it has been, because there has been other guys when KD came out the last couple games that have stepped up. Nassir Little's had 2 of his best games of the season, the last 2 games. You know what I mean? Like you've had Nurkic has been a little bit more forceful down low the last couple games. So like if these other guys can step up, J.O.'s got to find a way. Yeah. And like he had both those guys on the court during the playoffs last year and he still couldn't throw a rock in the ocean. So I'm not going to give him all the excuses. He just got to step up and play better. Point blank.
Yeah, I mean, his problem is shooting. His problem is the 3 ball. And he seems to get to the rim a little bit more. And sometimes he activates his game by getting that dunk or that backdoor cut that he'll get with Book and KD. And that seems to open things up for him. But he shouldn't have to. Like Saul's right. You shouldn't have to have that happen for you to hit a 3-point shot. But he seems like one of those guys that how the flow of the game is going, and if he gets a quick bucket or a quick play at the rim, it seems to change things up. And if he goes 5 minutes without that, then he becomes who he is. So, yeah, it's a problem. It's definitely something to think about long term.
It is. But if we're looking at this team with the goal of the big 3 being healthy, like J.O. fits in much. He just does. Like,
he does.
It's not even about a mentality thing or for me, it's a skill set thing. Like his driving ability to attack closeouts. If you've got those 3 or even 2 of those 3 out there, the driving lanes are a lot bigger than they are when only one of them's out there.
Agreed.
So he's got to shoot better. He's got to finish his layups. I'm sure he'd be the first to tell you that himself. But he's still there's going to be ebbs and flows, and we saw it just 3 games ago when he had 12 points. Like, there's going to be nights where J.O. looks unplayable, and there's going to be nights where it's like, okay, yeah, I understand why he continues to get minutes and why Frank Vogel's never going to quit on him because of the intangible stuff that he does when they're at full strength.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting little nuggets of information around this game. First and foremost, Booker Muse on Twitter shared this fun fact yesterday. Devin Booker has recorded a 35-plus point game against every NBA team except for one. And that is the Toronto Raptors. And, of course, we're playing them tonight. And before any of you smarty pants get on a little technical. Of course, the Suns are included, obviously.
Right.
Like, come on. We already know that. Espo pulled that on me yesterday when I said that. He's like, well, also the Suns. And I'm like, Espo, stop.
Hopefully forever the Suns.
Yeah,
Right.
forever. Exactly.
He's
But-
dropped 35 on the Suns
I mean, it could
a
be.
whole bunch of times.
In practice.
You just don't see it.
That's true.
Yeah.
But if there was a season where I feel the most confident about Book being able to drop 35 points night in and night out, it's this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll check that one off his box tonight. We'll see. And then a couple more little interesting nuggets. Apparently, Pascal Siakam loves playing the Suns because he's posted 20-point performances in 7 of his last 8 games against the Suns dating back to February of 2020.
Okay.
Well, good for him.
One of the more negative, I guess you will, nuggets is that Toronto has won 4 of its last 5 games against Phoenix when they play in their arena.
Mhm.
And that dates back from December 5th of 2017 through December 30th of 2022. But that excludes the bubble year, of course.
Okay.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of interesting because it doesn't really feel
Toronto's
like
a tough
that.
place to play, though, man. And they've been good. They haven't been terrible. They're not a bad team.
Yeah.
I mean, this year they're a little down, but they've been competitive most years. And Pascal's an All NBA player, so he's a good ball player. I expect him to put up 20.
Yeah.
This year he's not averaging 20. He's not like 19,
Just like
6, right? Something
Leading
like that.
scorer. Yeah.
Yeah, but they've been competitive, and I tell you, they've done some sneaky things to Book.
Mm-hmm.
Like that coaching staff defends Book kind of sneaky, and then they had Earl Watson over there, and he used to throw some junk at Book. So I want to see tonight. They always throw something at Book that's kind of
Well,
weird.
it's a different coaching staff now. 'Cause
No,
Devin
I
Booker's
know,
gone,
yeah.
So
They're also on the tail end of a back-to-back, but at least for them, their flight was not very long because they just played in Brooklyn. So a little hop,
Yeah.
skip, and a jump away. Not a
Yeah.
cross-country flight
Right.
for them over there. When you guys look at tonight's game, you were talking about the way that they're going to play Book. What are you two kind of specifically looking for?
to me, it's always about the rebounding. If they can hit the boards a little bit better than they have, they've been okay. I think the last couple of games they've been a little bit closer in the margin than they were at the beginning of the season. Because at the beginning of the season they were out rebounding teams by 5 to 10 rebounds a game. This time it's getting a little bit closer, if not losing that battle. So I'd like to see a little bit better of a job there. And then overall, again, this bench, I want to see what this bench is going to do. I feel like that's going to be the theme for the whole season. And so far it's been so good. They've got some guys that have stepped up. Yuta is now back. He had he only had 5 points the other night, but I expect him to play a little bit better as he gets back into the groove. And Jordan Goodwin, I love that guy.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see what he's going to do tonight to piggyback on the performance from the other night because he was crucial last game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, they haven't played since Sunday?
Yeah.
Had 2 days off. Raptors second night of back-to-back. I want to see them push it, like use all of your horses.
Mhm.
You've got Kevin Durant back tonight as well. Make this team feel you in that way, especially beat them and limit their transition opportunities. The Raptors, one of the few things that they're actually elite at is fast
turnover,
break
yeah.
points. They're 4th in that category. So limit their transition opportunities, and they're pretty average across
Yeah.
the board otherwise. Like we said, they're led by a guy averaging 19 points per game.
Yeah.
They've got pretty well-rounded scoring, but like their point guard is Dennis Schroeder. So it's
Right.
really one of those games that you should win and do yourself a favor looking ahead to Friday, Saturday, maybe put it away early.
Yeah.
All right, we have a couple of things from the chat. Frank sent us a super chat and said, I won't stand for this Josh Okogie slander. Frank, we love Josh Okogie over here. You know that. At least in this chair. We love Josh Okogie. Adrian sent us one as well, said, Flex, we smack in this MF 6-leg parlay tonight.
I'm taking a break tonight, man. Jalen Brunson did me dirty yesterday.
broke your heart, man.
I need a night off from that stuff.
We'll
That
look
was
at bets
brutal.
here in just a minute. And then everyone in the chat is asking, where's Espo? Is Espo wearing purple pants? What's going on? If Espo doesn't have the purple pants on, we're going to end up losing this game. Eric, do we have a confirmation from
There
Espo?
it is,
There
baby.
he is.
Espo in the purple pants.
There he is.
Don't worry, guys.
Sources.
I mean, he was wearing them in the office today.
So it was a full day of the
Yeah, it
purple
was a
pants.
full
So we
day,
got good
yes.
juju going into this one.
All right.
We're feeling good. Saul, you want to hand out our Yeasty Boy award?
Oh, man, I completely forgot about that.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Actually, the Yeasty Boy is going to be Espo. just because because it's his birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
It
so
is.
like let's recognize him for that and his contributions to the bread.
And the purple pants. Shout out to Espo. Right now, Hero Bread is offering all of you 10% off their first order. So just go to hero.co and use code PHNX to save on Hero Bread today. That is hero.co to save 10% today with the code PHNX. Hero Bread it's elite, so check it out. It comes recommended from the OG UC boy in the Die Hard as well, so you know that's good. All right, what are the guys wearing tonight?
They are
White
wearing
jerseys
their
again.
white jerseys. And why don't you like the whites?
God, they're boring as shit.
What?
I loved him.
Oh, those are my favorite.
That's
I mean,
my
I
favorite.
like they're cool, but damn, do we got to wear them 18 times in a row?
Usually on a
Oh
road
my
trip, they
God.
only take 1 or 2 jerseys.
I feel
And they
it.
plan that out specifically just because it's easier. You lighten the load of things you gotta.
It's all good, but even when they're
Carry.
home, I feel like all we've seen is either the white or the LVIA. That's it. Like we've gotten the black, I think, once this year, maybe twice.
I'm okay with it. The black's kind of meh.
You're kind of
Yeah,
mad.
I don't like the black. I like the white.
I like the purple too.
I mean,
Yeah, I would like to
black
see
is
the purple
always one
again.
of my favorites, just in general. I think black jerseys, just in general, always look the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at Elvire, but I'm with you, Saul. I'm a little bit over the white.
Yeah.
I just think white
If you're
jerseys
winning,
across
you're
the
winning.
That's
board.
what I was gonna say.
White jerseys across the board to me are the least interesting. To
Yeah.
look at.
Really?
They're the
Yeah.
least creative.
I'm a white. I like white.
You're a white guy. Is that what you're about
Nah,
to say?
I stopped myself. But
Hilarious.
yeah, you know me well, bro.
All right, who you guys got tonight? By how much?
I have the Suns by 3. And that was before I knew KD was going to play.
Yeah.
Now I might have gone 5 or
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, same.
Same.
3 and then KD. Yeah, it's probably gonna be 13.
Yeah.
So, like, for those of you who don't know, we have to turn these things in usually pretty early in the day, so that way we can get the graphics made. If we're really desperate, we really want Eric to change, he'll change it, but we don't really. We're just like, all right,
It's a lot of graphics for a pregame
It
show.
is.
Absolutely.
It is.
And I'm glad that I almost put a bet around the final score, and I'm glad I didn't because I would have sent that in probably before we got the KD news as well.
Yep.
So thankfully that did not happen for me tonight. But before we get into our bets, what do our friends over at the BetMGM Sportsbook app think about tonight's game? So this was also pre-KD, -2.5, the money line -150, but it hasn't changed, surprisingly
That's
enough.
so stupid.
Maybe they just feel like they're getting a good even amount of bets for each one that they don't really care to change.
Hammer
at this
the
point.
over.
Maybe they had to.
Hammer the over. The Suns on 2 days rest. KD back and Book. Dog. They're gonna win by. I would say they might even win by double digits.
Lindsay, we didn't get to that yet, but I saw what you did.
I had that.
No,
Look
I
at the
saw-
timestamp.
No. I saw what you did, and I fucking love it.
Okay.
I think that is I stealing money.
I kind of agree too. I
I can't
my bet
believe that's
tonight.
even up there.
Because okay, let's look at our bets. So we'll do mine first. So I was just trying to take, you know how I am right now. I'm just doing like baby bets, right? But the money line tonight was like a -150 or something like that when I was looking at it, and I didn't feel like it was worth it. And then I was just struggling picking out a parlay. Like nothing seemed to be, just nothing was working for me. And then I found this one, and it's the Suns money line and both teams to score 100 or more points, and it's a +105.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a pretty decent bet for plus odds.
It's a
So
great bet.
that's what I'm going with tonight.
The only thing that concerns me about that is that the Raptors are not a very good 3-point shooting team. And if there was one team that was not going to hit 100, it would be the Raptors.
Yeah, but I also think that if the Suns don't have to play defense, that they
Exactly.
sometimes just don't a little bit.
I think that's what's going to happen.
So
They probably
So-
blow them out and let them
Just
score.
saying.
100. Yeah.
So looking at their schedule here, they've hit 100 in each of their last 9 games, but they're 4 out of their 18 games this year, they've fallen short of 100.
which is probably why that's plus money.
Let's
because
hope
there
it's
are
tonight.
chances that it's
Let's
not.
hope tonight's the 5th night.
Let's hope not.
You're winning, dog. I'm not rooting for you no more. That ended
Fair, I
2
don't
weeks
blame
ago.
you. What are you guys putting your money on?
I had like a 4-leg parlay, but then that was blown to shit because Grayson Allen is sick. So now instead, I have the Suns winning by 6 to 10 points at a plus 450.
See,
Nice.
so this was the one that I was going to take, but I was going to do 1 to 5 points. Originally, it was also a plus 450. And
It
so
was
I'm
actually
glad.
425.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so
I was looking, it was 4.
I
those were
hit the
same.
button and it changed. It hit, had the green little square around it, and it changed to 450. So I screenshotted it, and then like literally 2 seconds later, it changed to 425. I was like, got him odds. Let's go.
Nice.
There you go. So I'm glad that I didn't take that one, especially now that we have the KD news, because I feel like 6 to 10 is more likely.
Yeah.
Flex, what you going with? No 6-leg parlay tonight, huh?
Straight up money line Suns, man. Move on. Move on, everybody.
It's a dub.
That's
back in
it.
the
Just a
W
dub.
column.
Listen.
I'm going to get 16 cents for this
He's just sitting
victory.
here putting that tourniquet on and trying to stop the bleeding. That's all that
Exactly.
is.
That's it.
I can't knock you for it because I've been there in the same spot. What's Espo putting his money on? I bet you has some outrageous shenanigans. Yep, some outrageous shenanigans. 3 3-pointers made in the first 3 minutes of the game at a plus 375.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's so random.
I don't know how he
That's
finds
not
this
happening.
stuff.
So BetMGM has some like cool, like if you go and you look at the game, it's kind of like I don't know what they call it exactly, but it's like specialty bets.
Mhm.
So you can do like the 3 threes like Espo did here tonight. You could do some other fun ones that they have specific to different players and everything. Like they have one that's called the like, Splash Bros. And it's not just for Steph and Clay. It's just in general, it's kind of around that idea. But they have some
Right.
fun, little interesting bets. And they usually all have pretty high odds. So if you're looking for a big payout, but you want to risk it a little bit, check out those ones. What's the leaderboard looking like?
I think it's looking pretty much in your favor right now.
Fingers crossed we can keep this going. So right now, Espo is coming in last place with minus $127.50.
He's going to be minus a lot more that tonight. That bet ain't him.
That's crazy.
Saul made up some ground though recently. You're only minus $61
If I win today,
now.
I'm in single digits negatively.
Okay.
Oh.
There you go.
-6. Let's
Watch
go.
out.
Well, that's
go.
where I'm trying to get.
Yeah. Flex, you're minus 25.41. And then listen, I'm telling you, those plus 105 bets, they're working.
Yeah, nah,
guys.
I'm slow crawling that
You
till
got
I get back in the positive.
$128.68 to my name. Listen, you got to do what you got to do
I'm a bunt all
sometimes.
season if I get on base.
Exactly.
Just got to get on base.
Exactly, though. You listen. It's clearly working as of right now.
Clearly
is.
working.
Listen, guys, if you have not joined Circle K's Inner Circle, you are missing out on some goodness. It's a free membership program. First and foremost, you save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. You save 3 cents per gallon every day, and you get every 6 free on a selection of Circle K products, plus so much more. So join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. And as we all continue to prepare for Christmas and we're searching for great gifts, our friends over at Shady Rays, they're still in the middle of their biggest sale of the year for Black Friday. I think there's just a couple more days left here, so don't miss out on the best deals for shades, snow goggles, and prescription sunglasses. Go to ShadyRays.com and try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people.
Chad Wellington, you need to stop smoking. Just stop.
Oh, what do you say?
OG gonna lock Durant up. There's not a single player in the history of the league that can lock up Kevin Durant. Stop.
Yeah.
Isn't he second in the NBA right now in scoring?
I think so.
I'm
He's
pretty sure
averaging
KD's second
31 a
in the NBA
game.
right now in scoring.
Look, OG's a great defender, but the problem is in the past he's been able to guard Book or McHale and kind of make life hard for them. Now, if you got Book and KD, that job gets a lot tougher. Raptors have good, long, strong defenders, but having those two out there changes the game a little bit.
Yeah, you're not locking up KD. Come on.
All right, guys. Well, let's go watch this game. And don't forget to meet us back here after it wraps up for the post-game show. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.